Hey, Max here. So there was a big ban wave this previous week. There's actually, I think, a couple different ones. One for some coin stuff, other ones for, as you see, botting and automation. I'm not going to talk about the specifics of who got hit and who put out this. We don't want to really talk about specific people. Please, comment section, stay away. To not stay away something that you should get close to is Underdog Fantasy using code GutFacts to sign up. They'll match up to $100 there, please. Best way of financially supporting Fox and signing up using my code there. Anyways, let's talk about the subjects today. Is the botting and animation, the TVPs, and the rumors around them getting nerfed. I do want to talk about all of that, and I think I'll have more TV information tomorrow with Market Monday. But I do want to talk about this ban. Now, if you've played gaming for any sort of time, right? If you've played any sort of massively multiplayer online game, it is funny how we see very similar things between like the big World of Warcrafts, the EverQuest, the big ones, right? Eve, whatever MMO you play, Final Fantasy 14. Botting is huge, and botting has ruined economies over the years in those games, and it was, making its way to Madden. It's huge Madden. There's still plenty of bots out there that are farming coins, but EA is taking a little bit of a harsher stance in the last year against these bots. As you see, a lot more people, like, if you buy coins from a site that bots them, you've got like an 80% chance of getting banned. So like, if the coins seem a little too cheap, there might be a reason for that. Now, this happened because people were botting, to my knowledge. If you guys watched my last video where I ran out of time before I could explain how people were doing this, it is very interesting. Like, what was it, a day or two later, like all these botting and automation bans came out? Strange. I didn't even explain how it was done, and EA's like, hey, clapped you. So I'm not sure if they actually got people for botting. There's a couple dueling theories. One is, they got somebody for botting. And the bots happen on PC. So basically what was happening, or maybe what still is happening, is they would take like a moment solo where you complete a pass, kick a field goal, whatever it is. They have this like program, third-party tool to turn that solo into a full game solo. So you kick the field goal, and then you get credit for the full game solo. And then you just have a bot do that over and over and over. You get to level 50 in like an hour or two, okay? So, and if they got their PC account banned for whatever reason, it didn't matter because those levels are shared between PC and console, which is a new thing this year. So their console would stay unbanned, and they get to level 50 there. And if they lost the PC account, who cares, okay? So they've been doing it all year, and we saw some bans earlier this year when people were botting on the actual console, right? There was a field goal kicking bot for a few years that were doing it on the consoles. They got banned. It was so funny because EA was so incompetent about it. A lot of these people took bans in like, the pre-release EA access time, but for some reason EA's dumb automation banned them in Madden 21 instead of Madden 22 where they were actually botting. I think it had to do with like release times or something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, so people got off the console bots, moved on to the PC bots because of the shared accounts, and made it even easier with the solo glitch. So that was kind of what was happening. And people offer these services. So what EA saw and did, it looks like they're bringing it over to console now. Now, the alternate solution was they have no freaking clue how people are doing it. Okay? And this is a solution from somebody, from one of the botters themselves. They think the actual reason people got clapped is because they went ahead and bought this level 45 golden ticket behind my head, right? Like, because it was impossible to get level 45 that quick. So EA was so incompetent about it. They're like, man, how'd they get up to level 45 so quick? Let's just ban everybody that got it, that bought this pack. So it is kind of funny that like maybe EA still has no clue how to detect them, and they only clap people for this, which... by hook or by crook, they found some people. I don't know. I don't think we'll see if they fully solved it or not. But I think it's a good thing that EA's focusing on this because, I get sponsored by a coin seller, but the coin seller transfers money from person to person. So that stuff's been earned by people, like, playing the game solos. Like, you play a whole season with a Super Bowl, you get like, what, 200, 300,000 coins? Like, people have put themselves, they told me, like, through college with that money selling coins and stuff. So, like, that's different, right? If it's actually earned by players and transferred to other players, that's legit. If it's not earned, like, that's where my line is. I don't know where your guys' line are. It's like a moral quandary or statement, and there's no wrong answer here. But let me know what you guys, or don't. I don't know. Probably get into a big debate here in the comment section. Gonna be awesome. But anyways, But when you just have an automated task doing for you, it feels a little awful, right? Because bots, we saw these season bots take over last year. They took over the leaderboards. Basically, you'd get into a game and then you have to like waste 20 to 30 minutes of your time online against these bots. It's just awful, right? It opens a Pandora's box of just like terrible things for human players. Whereas like if human players are benefiting or actually making real world cash off Madden, I think that's a good thing, right? The only people that are hurt in that instance, maybe EA's pocketbooks, because people aren't buying as many packs from them. Whereas the game is as unfair as ever because, you know, the pay to win aspect of MUT. But like the fact that we're paying to win other people instead of just EA's coffers, I think that's where I'm like, okay, that's okay. But bots themselves inherently ruin games. And I've seen it over the course of last 20 years of MMOs and other games that are kind of like MMOs, like these Ultimate Team game modes, which are an evolution of massively multiplayer online games. Because how much time and effort you have to sink in them to, you know, PvP, PvE, all that stuff that are very similar. You build up your team, improve yourself on your RPG elements, improve your roster, improve your character, that kind of stuff. It's very similar when you think about it. But EA, I guess, is taking botting seriously. I think that's good for gaming. I hate bots. I really do. Like I'm gonna push back against our robot overlords as much as I can going forward. I'll die in the Great Robot Wars of 2090. I don't know what years it's coming, but it's coming soon. Okay. Let's talk about the market a little bit and TVPs. I don't want to go too crazy into it. Today, I've talked about buying. Let's do this first before we go into the overall market. I've talked about buying limiteds. Alan Fanika's a very interesting case. Like, he'll be the best left guard release the whole year, right? Because, like, I don't see, unless they do a promo, and they could, dude. Maybe I'm wrong. They could very well do a promo where they give discounted APs to, like, everybody in every position again, like they did Backyard Ballers or whatever. But, like, getting free post up 1 AP identifier, you can take off the identifier if you power them up or whatever, but $725 for offensive lineman, it's just a wicked overpay. And I mean, maybe in like a month he gets reduxed. So it's an okay investment. I don't mind it for a high-end guard, for something that like everybody wants to run, which are post-ups. It's not a bad guard at all. So, you know, if you want to invest, do it. If you don't. I don't give recommendations for what to do and don't, because you're your own people and don't listen to people on the internet. Anyways, let's talk a look at sorry. We love when graphs go up and down for prices because that means there's potential for profit. Wild swings in prices are wildly great for people that pay attention. Because like with MUT, it's a little bit like more than like the stock market, it's a little bit more predictable, okay? You can see like wild dips and then ups, then dips, and then now we're trending back up. Now, we did see a pack odds change, and the pack odds got better this previous week, which is why we might cap out a little bit lower than we did the previous week. But as you saw the big dramatic drop, then we saw training variety, then we saw fat packs get introduced that dropped it even more, which was stunning. We thought that was going to come a little bit later. And then right around here on the 12th, TVP packs were teased, and that rose enough of the market. And then they got released, and it rose even more through the weekend. And now, once the weekend got over, the Ultimate Legend left packs last week on the 16th. The 16th, we saw a little bit of dip, you know, going to the 17th. People was like, okay, there's nothing really to pull for. I don't need training. And now it's gone down even more with the new training variety packs, the pack odd increases. And then now, over the weekend, we saw with the training variety packs, golden tickets, new stuff like that, went up a little bit in price. And golden tickets have stayed a little bit high in price. So basically what we're seeing is like that weekly cycle that I talked about the previous few weeks of, hey, when we get the training variety pack, when the new cards come in the packs on the weekend, golden ticket, Ultimate Legends, you know, goes up. When we get the fan appreciation pack, goes down, because people rip a lot of fan appreciation packs because they're very high overalls. So how do you take advantage of that? Just like literally the simplest way possible is buy when training's cheap and sell when it's high. And I think that's going to be kind of reliable for the next couple weeks until maybe something else comes and shocks the market with maybe a new promo. Rookie premieres, they haven't teased that, but generally holding on to draft players is a smart idea for rookie premieres. Maybe we'll do that Market Monday. We'll focus on rookie premieres. But it is interesting that these golden tickets aren't down as much. So a lot of people are questioning if they lowered the pull rate of golden tickets, because guys like Cam Newton are still very expensive. Let me just put his name instead of searching it. Like a lot of those quarterbacks going for like 200K. Newton's still at 600K. Now, obviously, you pull a golden ticket. Every week, the pool of golden tickets gets wider. So it's less of a chance of pulling a specific one. And everyone wants to try the new ones. Everybody really likes Cam Newton. He's a big name, one of the biggest names in NFL history, we'll say. So that's important. The other ones are a little high too, right? So what's happening is not only the golden ticket pool getting diluted, it's hard to pull individual golden tickets. What's happened, and since last week, and everybody's like, oh man, training variety packs been nerfed a little bit. Last week, the first week of training variety packs, do you see what we were getting training at? 0.85, 0.87 in here. And then it started to rise. So it got a lot more people pulling these packs because training was so cheap, right? Like, it was incredible the first weekend. And this past week, training really didn't dip that low. Maybe people didn't restock because they thought it might have been cheaper. So really didn't see as much of an upward swing because now it's more painful every time you pull a training variety pack and lose because you got it at such an expensive rate. So, like, the training variety pack, maybe its odds didn't necessarily get nerfed. I haven't seen the stats. I'll look for that tomorrow. I'll talk to Herky. But my theory is that it's just more painful to pull these things. These things are higher priced because it took a higher price input to get this output. So we can maybe continue to see that going forward with golden tickets maybe staying around this range, 600K versus, 200K. Now, if a crappy golden ticket comes out, yeah, I think we're going to see some low-end prices for them. But who are the other golden tickets? Let me just look at the other golden tickets this week here on MUT.GG, golden tickets. G comes after F. There it is. Smile. All right, golden tickets. Who all came out this week? So we see Cam Newton, big name, 581. DiNucci came out. He was a new golden ticket. And nobody really cares about Ben DiNucci, okay? 205. So the odds are still there, but just know the demand input and people buying the car because they like them is keeping them high. Josh Gordon, 379, all right. Jeremy Chin, 370, all right. Westry, 408. Westry was an interesting thing. They actually buffed Westry after release. I know some people got very angry because they sold the Westry for 200K. Now it's double the price at which they sold that. So unfortunate, but I was trying to think that over. Like, should they not have touched Westry after release? Because some people got salty that they didn't make as much as they wanted, or they would have kept them instead of selling them if they knew his stats were going to go up. I don't know. I prefer that EA had fixed it. So even though some people did lose out, I am kind of glad that EA ended up fixing Westry overall. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. That's the video for right now. I did branch a little bit more into the market than I thought I would here in the video, but we got more to cover tomorrow on Market Monday, so tune in for that. Please like, subscribe. Once again, Underdog Fantasy, use code GutFox, #1 way of supporting the Fox other than just putting your eyeballs here, sticking to it. Eyes wide open, baby. All right. See ya tomorrow.